And hello again, everybody. David Clary along with Joey Weston, Caleb Riker here at Bobby Hopkins Field getting set for District 3 tournament baseball action. The Wildcats taking on the Karns Beavers in what is not an elimination ball game, but a game to determine who will go to continue on in the championship side of the bracket. The Karns Beavers having to win yesterday to get to this bracket. They knocked off the West High Rebels. Wildcats trying to get to the region tournament for the first time since the early 2000s. Karns has been a fixture in the top of the district for several years now. The Wildcats, the regular season district champions, and have something to prove, I think, this season in the tournament. It's been a while since they won the tournament, but they have an opportunity tonight. It starts here at Bobby Hopkins Field, and Joey, as we've talked about all season long, when you win the district, you get the advantage of getting to play on your home field, and that's what we've got tonight.
Yeah, it's great for the Wildcats here tonight. It's going to be a good game. There's a lot of seniors on both sides, so, the Karns want to win this game. Oak Ridge, the seniors want to make it to that championship.
While Coach Branson is not playing music, why don't you run down the starting lineups for the ballgame?
All right, leading things off for the Karns Beavers tonight is Dylan Owens at pitcher. Batting second, Connor Clark at shortstop. Batting third, Riley Hartline at first base. Batting fourth, Timmy Harper at third. Batting fifth, Tyler Millsaps at catcher. Batting sixth, Nick Wilson in left field. Batting seventh, Joey Wright in center field. Batting eighth, Brandon Bilbrey in right field. And batting ninth, Garrett Davis at second base. And for your Oak Ridge Wildcats, leading things off, as always, Caden Black at shortstop. Batting second, Mikey Teasley on the mound tonight. Batting third, Tyler Pickens at third base. Batting fourth and DHing tonight is Eddie Tan. He will be DHing for Kyron Welch, who's playing catcher. Batting fifth, Jacob Franklin in right field. Batting sixth, Richie Ferreira in center. Batting seventh, Jason Slay at second base. Batting eighth, Cam Welch at first base. And batting ninth, Izzy Mitchell in left field.
Thanks a lot, Joey. The umpires and the coaches for the two respective teams are meeting down at the home plate area, and we're just moments away. It was a really warm day today, finally. It was kind of cool this morning, but hopefully we'll have a nice tournament here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats will not have to go anyplace else except here at Bobby Hopkins. If they win today, they'll play on Saturday against the winner of Powell and Central. And, Joey, we've seen both of those two teams play, both of them very, very good.
Yeah, Central and Powell. It was a close game between us and them. So two really solid teams there. So that's going to be a good matchup. And the Karns Beavers, they're always a solid team, so it will be a competitive game tonight.
The Wildcats taking on the Karns Beavers for the second time this year. The Wildcats won here at Bobby Hopkins 8-1. They won at Karns 10-6. You might remember that game, Joey. The Wildcats jumped out to a huge lead. We were doing that game from the dugout, if you remember. But then, they kind of caught up. If you remember that game, I think Mikey started that game. They pulled him out of the game, and Coach Free told me after the ball game that he thought he actually pulled him out a little bit too early. And, they made a little run. They didn't win, but they made it interesting at the end.
Yeah, that's right. And something you can see from the Beavers in that game was they don't give up. They had 2 innings left to go, and they put up 5 runs in those last 2 innings. So that's something you got to watch out for these Karns Beavers, especially coming here and one of these, a playoff game. It's an essential game for their season, so they're not going to give up and roll over.
The lineups are being introduced down on the field. Karns has, looking at the flag, which is now on the side of the press box. Was it the Karns game? What game was it where we had these fans out here that were a little bit agitated that they could not see the flag? The flag they were using most of the year is over at the City Services Building, which is outside of the park itself. So Mr. Ulrich put a flag up here on the side of the building. So now when they do the national anthem, they're looking right at us. So I tend to step back here just a bit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Might have to move out of the way a little bit, but we got a comment on that. I believe it was Pigeon Forge. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Pigeon Forge that we got a comment about that from one of the other fans.
Kind of interesting that the Wildcats are going with Mikey Teasley today. Very capable, and obviously Mikey has pitched against Karns and has had some success. But what we were talking about here, the Wildcats, the number one pitcher for the Wildcats all season long, 6-0 on the year, great ERA, has been Tyler Pickens. But potentially, if you win this ball game, you're going to be facing the Powell Panthers, and nothing against Mikey, but I think Coach Free's thinking is that hopefully we can get past the Carnes Beavers and we can throw our number one against the Powell Panthers.
Yeah, that's right. For anybody wondering out there, and look back into the past, Tyler Pickens faced the Powell Panthers at Powell, and he ended up being able to defeat that team, which Oak Ridge has not been able to do in a while.
We're about to have our national anthem here from Bobby Hopkins. The rest of the Wildcats have taken the field. The starters are announced, and they're in their positions. They're actually out on the field now. The rest are lining up on the third base line, and we're about to have our national anthem here from Bobby Hopkins Field.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the rule the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's our national anthem here from Bobby Hopkins Field. My name is David Clary along with Joey Weston. TSSAA charges to broadcast these ball games in the postseason, and we'd like to thank the Oak Ridge baseball boosters. They have paid the rights fee for the broadcast of tonight's game, and hopefully we'll be able to do a few more, but this is the only one we're guaranteed right now. We might do one perhaps on Monday. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, but thank the boosters for paying the rights fee. I've said this, and no disrespect, because I've got some friends who actually work at the TSSAA, and one thing that about them, they don't set the rules, but it's just crazy to me that they charge $250 for a baseball game. Because they're afraid it's going to affect the gate, which is crazy. That $250 might equal the amount of the gate they're going to make anyway. I got to turn my mic off, though, as the music's playing here. But we're just moments away from baseball, Oak Ridge and Karns. Stay with us here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We'll be back with the first pitch in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We're about to get set here. It's not an elimination ball game, but a huge game for the Wildcats, trying to get to the championship bracket, to the championship game of the championship bracket. And the first pitch of the ball game, cut on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Who is this batting?
This is Dylan Owens. He's pitching for the Karns Beavers tonight. He's a pretty strong hitter. We've seen him in the past. He's able to put the ball in play. So good leadoff guy for the Beavers.
I'll set the defense for the Wildcats in a moment as Mikey comes to the plate. That one's on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. That's a good sign. The umpire's going to give the corners like that. That's going to be an advantage to the pitchers. Hopefully one in cardinal and gray pinstripes. As Mikey, the freshman, comes to the plate with the 0-2 pitch. That's way outside with a fastball, and the count is 1-2. Defensively for the Wildcats, Oak Ridge has Camden Welch at first base. Jason Slay is at second. The shortstop is Caden Black. The third baseman is Tyler Pickens, the player of the year in the district. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit foul and out of play. Setting your outfield, Izzy Mitchell is in left for the Wildcats. In center field, it looks like we've got Richie Ferreira. And in right field, we've got Jacob Franklin. The catcher is Kyron Welch. Mikey Teasley, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch, that's a ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mikey Teasley, the freshman on the mound tonight. We've been saying it all year. I mean, he's just so, he's just so calm out there. He really doesn't show much nerves when he's pitching at third at the plate. I mean, he's a good player.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind, the pitch to the plate, bounce to the plate. They say he did not swing, so we've got full count. So after getting ahead 0-2, Mikey's been out of the strike zone, and the count is full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We had a couple of businesses around town offering pizza and free tickets to students for this ball game. Appreciate them. 3-2 pitch, here it comes. Hit well to left center field, all the way to the fence, off the wall. Fielded nicely by Richie Ferreira. He gets the ball in quickly, and it's a leadoff double for the Karns Beavers. He got all of that one. He just barreled it up and hit it to the wall.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that one got close to going out, but nice hit there for the leadoff man. Batting now is Connor Clark, the shortstop.
I mentioned that Tyler Pickens was the player of the year. Travis Free was the coach of the year. The defensive player of the year was Caden Black. The all-district team included Eddie Tan, Jason Slay, Jacob Franklin. All-district honorable mention, Alex Franklin and Richie Ferreira. Richie will be, he is in center field today. I guess we're going to get a runner for the Karns Beavers at second base. A lot of people on the all-district team. When you win the district, you tend to get a whole bunch of guys on the team, as they do have a runner at second base. Good start for Karns. Still a scoreless ball game. First man, a double to the fence. The freshman trying to work out of a first inning jam with a runner at second. Let's see how long it takes him to take off towards third. Teasley comes to the plate. Nice stop there on a pitch in the dirt. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes.
Coming in to run for the Beavers is Brody Miles, number 6.
Wildcats, as I mentioned, swept the Beavers during the regular season. It's got an old adage in sports. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. That's what the Wildcats are trying to do tonight. 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike. The count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield is playing shallow, kind of in a little bit. The ball was just tattooed by the leadoff man for the Beavers. Right-handed hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mikey's breaking pitch is a good one. Foul to the plate. You talk about some movement on that pitch, and I think when the batter saw it coming, he thought he had something to hit, but the ball just tailed out, and he just barely got a piece of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen a ball move like that in a while. That was a really nice pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 on. Nobody out here in the first. Scoreless game. Oak Ridge and Karns District 3 tournament. Timeout is asked for by the Karns Beavers. Karns wearing their predominantly blue jerseys with some white lettering. White baseball pants, blue socks. The Wildcats, their pinstripes, cardinal and gray. That's another breaking pitch, and that's just a little bit outside. You talk about some movement. The last 2 pitches have really, really curved outside.
Yeah, those pitches are working for him. He's putting them in the right spot.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Teasley checks the runner. Caden, shortstop behind him. There's a fastball hit on the ground to Caden Black. They've got to play at third. Nice play, Caden Black. The tag applied by Tyler Pickens. It's a fielder's choice, and they gunned down the runner, and that's a mistake. The ball was hit right in front of him, and in that case, Joey, you want to kind of stay around the bag, because Caden fielded it, and it wasn't maybe 5 or 6 steps to his right, an easy out at third base.
Yeah, that's right. And Coach Free talked about when I played, he said, if the ball's going, if it's to your left, you want to go, but that ball was right in front of the runner. Good heads-up play there by Caden as well.
So they've got a runner now at first base with 1 out now.
Batting now is Riley Hartline, the first baseman.
Pitch to him hits him in the calf or someplace. And they'll have runners at first and second. Umpire walking out to talk to Teasley. I wonder what he's saying to him right now. Son, don't do that anymore. As he walks back, he walked the ball all the way back. So that breaking pitch, I don't know if that was, I think that was a fastball that actually hit him. So now they've got runners at first and second. So base runners here on the top of the first inning, first and second, and the cleanup men.
Batting now is Timmy Harper, the third baseman.
Number 4 hitter in their lineup. Mikey checks the runner. Oh, that one's all the way back to the screen and hit the brick and came right back to Kyron. So a little bit wild there with his fastball. I think the freshman might be a little pumped up for this one.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a guy on first and second. Nice hit right off the bat for the Beavers. So Mikey might be a little shooken up by that, but he's got to work out of this mess. We've seen him do it before, and I don't see why he couldn't do it again.
He's got to get the ball in the strike zone. 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes to count. Runners at first and second for the Karns Beavers. Mikey checks the runner at second. The pitch hit on the ground, high hopper, foul up the third base line, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. More and more fans beginning to file in. One of the cool things about the ball game so far, I noticed that in the concession stand, we had some former parents of former players, like Jonathan Milloway's parents are working the concession stand to give the current players' parents an opportunity to watch the ball game. Thank you. Breaking pitch stays up high, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Talking about that, I see Matthew Swagger and Officer Swagger in the house tonight. Matthew used to be the leadoff hitter for Oak Ridge a couple years back. Really good player.
I see Logan Rosenberger in the house as well. Wildcat player from last year. Pitch is a fastball. Oh my gosh. He said it was high, belt high. High for him because he's not very tall. 3 balls and 1 strike. Loud enough. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Mikey comes to the plate, hit into center field softly. Richie could have caught that. He did not. And here comes the throw in, and it's going to be a bases loaded situation. Richie actually, I think what he was thinking probably out in center is, I don't want to let it get past me. So he had to actually back up to let the ball bounce in front of him. But, if he comes in, I think he might have an opportunity to catch that one.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of, you risk for the maybe dive and catch play and miss it and they score 2 runs, or, you let the ball take a hop and try to get it in.
And live for another day, another play.
Right.
Now they've got the bases loaded with 1 out. Solid contact on 3 of the hits. One of the outs, the grounder to Caden was hit pretty hard. The double to the gap was hit hard, and that was kind of a soft line drive. Bases loaded, pitch, high and inside. Teasley behind in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Bases full of Beavers here in the top of the first inning in this District 3 tournament ball game. Karns played yesterday, defeated the West Rebels to advance to this ball game. That was an elimination ball game for them. Pitch, breaking pitch, called a strike, and it almost like he had to think about that one just a bit. We'll take it. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded. So I don't get on the umpire when something goes our way. And there's a breaking pitch, and it stays up high. I wish we had a taller umpire. Anything that above the belt, right at the belt level, he hasn't called. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mikey Teasley in a mess here in the first inning. The pitch, Fastball, there's a strike right down the middle. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, Mikey has had some beautiful pitches here. Sometimes some of them have been called strikes, which they should have, and he's had some great pitches here. His breaking ball looks great. I mean, right off the bat, it looks great.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Teasley comes to the plate. Breaking pitch, called strike 3. Go sit down, young man. And that is out number 2 here in the first inning. And that was another great curveball there by Mikey Teasley.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for him. He knows it. The coaches know it. So good start for him pitching-wise. But batting now is Nick Wilson, the left fielder.
One thing we still got to guard for is he hit the last left-handed hitter, and his breaking pitch kind of comes in on the left side, so we don't want to hit a batter and get a run that way, allow the Beavers to get a run that way. Kyron's got to be aware of anything in the dirt as well. Here's the first pitch, a little bit low, kind of a small strike zone, and very wide. Yeah, I would agree with that. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, bases full for the Karns Beavers as they start play here in the top of the first inning. Timeout is asked for by the batter.
Mikey's got a little bit of a mess here to work out of in this playoff game. Bases loaded. We'll see what he can do here.
1 ball, no strikes, the pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike at the knees, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple hits in the inning, kind of a base running mistake by the Beavers for their first out. The other was a strikeout. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Mikey Teasley has the sign from Kyron, and the pitch. Cut on and fouled at the plate, and the count is 1-2. He got a live fastball. I mean, he can hum it. He's got a beautiful breaking pitch, but he also can hum it.
Yeah, he can. I mean, and years later here for Oak Ridge, he's already a great pitcher. He's going to be even better in these next couple of years here. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do here soon.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Hit right to Caden Black, and that is out number 3. So the freshman gets into trouble, and he works out of it. The Wildcats watch the Beavers load the bases, but fail to score. We go to the bottom half of the first inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Karns Beavers are scoreless. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field, bottom half of the first inning. Caden Black leads things off for the Wildcats, the Defensive Player of the Year in District 3. The first pitch to him is fouled out of play. Who's pitching tonight for the Karns Beavers?
Pitching tonight is Dylan Owens, also the leadoff hitter for the Beavers.
Left-handed hitting, Black. Behind in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Another solid season for Caden. Ball ripped to the second baseman on a line, but out. So Caden was retired for the first out of the inning. And the batter now will be the pitcher, Mikey Teasley. Mikey stands in. He's had another solid year for him. Just a really good freshman year. Not only pitching, he hasn't, he's pitched, about 7 or 8 games this year, but he's been solid at third. He's hit the ball well all season long. And as we've talked about, he's going to be fun to watch the next several years. Pitch to him is high and inside. The count now 2 balls and no strikes. Like you said earlier, he just plays with so much poise. He just doesn't seem to get rattled.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, as a freshman playing in varsity games, everybody's nervous, even the seniors out here, and he's a freshman.
Pitch is hit on the ground to the shortstop. A convenient hop. He's got plenty of time. Throws on the first in time for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, and here comes the player of the year in District 3. That would be Tyler Pickens, and we've talked about him. What a great addition he's been to this Wildcat team. Obviously, player of the year in the district.
Tyler Pickens, as you said, player of the year. I can't disagree with that. He's been great for this team, pitching wise, offensively wise. He's just great all around player.
Yeah, he's hitting over 500 on the year. He's 6-0 on the mound for the Wildcats. He's pretty much done it all. He's played some good first base, some good third base. Breaking pitch is in there for a called strike, and Carr's pitcher has been on it. He has gotten the first 2 guys in order here in the bottom of the first inning. Tyler's in the hole, 0-2. Pitch, fastball, barely stayed alive on a pitch that was probably a little bit high. Stayed alive, and the count is 0-2.
You know what I've noticed with these Beavers? The Oak Ridge won 8-1 the first game, 10-6 the next. It's not going to be a blowout. These Beavers we've already seen so far. Last inning, they can hit, and they can also pitch as well.
0-2 pitch, breaking pitch hit on the ground softly, third base side. Third baseman fields it, throws, and he's out. Out at first base. It was a bang-bang play, but no argument from the Wildcats, and that's 3 up and 3 down for Oak Ridge in the first. We go to the top of the second inning in this District 3 tournament game, live from Bobby Hopkins Field on our Prep Radio channel. On YouTube, my name is David Cleary, along with Joey Weston and Caleb Riker, Oak Ridge, and Karns. And we'll be back for the second inning in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins, the District 3 baseball tournament. The Wildcats and Karns Beavers are scoreless here. And Mikey Teasley begins his second inning of work, and what a job he did. Got into a mess and got out of it, and that ball's ripped to right Jacob Franklin back on it, misjudged it, but makes the catch for out number one. One pitch and one out. I've told you this before, Joey, and I don't know if you've played right field at this time of day. That is the hardest field to play at this time of day with the sun coming right at you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's right. That will affect it a lot. I mean, Jacob Franklin, nice recovery there, though. A little out of position, but got back into it. Batting now is Brandon Bilbrey, the right fielder for the Beavers.
As I mentioned in the first inning, Mikey loaded the bases, got out of it, got a strikeout, and got a line out, and some bad base running by Karns hurt their inning, but they did load the bases. So Mikey hopefully he's settled down here in the second. He's got one out in the second, and the pitch hit foul. Back to the bricks once again. And the count is even 1-1 strike.
Karns loaded up the bases last inning. I mean, the pitching's been great so far for Mikey. I mean, the Beavers just been able to make contact, put it in play. They've been putting it in the right position.
Left-handed hitter. Pitch, cut on a missed. The count is 1-2. One out. Nobody aboard for the Beavers as they bat here in the second. This District 3 tournament game. 1-2 pitch. Hit foul again into the parking lot. We all look. We all listen. And the sound effect says it all. Joey, was that yours?
I would hope not.
1-2 strikes. Mikey Teasley, freshman Wildcat. Taking a while to get this 1-2 pitch off and takes so much time that the Karns batter steps out of the batter's box. 1-2 strikes. And the pitch is outside the ball.
A lot of noise coming from the Beavers side tonight. We haven't heard Oak Ridge much. I mean, they're usually a little noisier during their home field games, but tonight it's the Beavers that got the energy.
2-2 pitch, breaking pitch, inside corner, and that is strike three, and that is out number two. You talk about a nasty break once again.
Batting now for Karns, the second baseman, number 5, Garrett Davis.
Batting now for the Beavers, Garrett Davis, the second baseman.
Right-handed hitter. What is that, number 9 hitter in the order?
Yeah.
And he stands in for the Beavers. 2 outs, nobody aboard. The pitch, cut on a miss. Inside fastball, way behind on it, and the count is 0-1.
Good pitching so far this inning for Mikey. A lot better of a start than last. He had the bases loaded. Was able to work out of it, though. So good job by him.
Strike 2. In the outside corner this time, so he's working inside and outside with that fastball. And, if I were him, I'm not him. I don't know as much baseball as Coach Free. I would break that breaking pitch off right here. There's the breaking pitch, but it's high and outside. He came inside with the fastball, came outside with the fastball, and that time the breaking pitch just was a little bit too outside.
Yeah, I mean, his breaking pitch has been great so far. The movement we've seen from some of those pitches have been awesome, just awesome to watch.
1-2 pitch, fastball hit on the ground. Caden Black fields it on the backhand, throws on the first, and it's caught by Kyron Welch at first for out number 3. So much better inning for Mikey Teasley in the second. He gets them 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. We are still scoreless here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats and the Karns Beavers in this District 3 tournament ball game. Good news is it's not an elimination game for either one. The winners will advance to play on Saturday against the winner of Central and Powell. The loser will drop into the loser's bracket. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Eddie Tan leads things off for the Wildcats. Pitch to him is, swing to the pitcher. He feels it, throws on the first in time. So kind of an swing, and the Wildcats have gone quickly here through their first four batters. They went 3 up and 3 down in the first, and now let's see what Jacob Franklin can do.
Jacob Franklin up to bat. He's playing right field tonight for the Wildcats. Big night for him. He's wanting to get to the championship game next game. I mean, he's a senior who doesn't want to go out like that.
Jacob is a member of the all-district team. And strike two. The first one was a called strike. The second one looked a little low, but called a strike, and the count is 0-2. Nobody on. One out here in the second inning of this tournament ball game at Bobby Hopkins. 0-2 pitch, hit foul. Barely stayed alive, and the count is 0-2. One out, nobody aboard. The Wildcats yet to have a base runner. The Beavers have had several, actually. They loaded the bases in the first inning. Mikey got them in order in the top half of this inning. Jacob trying to reach base for the Wildcats and make it their first base runner, and he swings and he misses. They're going to have to throw him out. It's a strikeout, but the throw is in time for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, 5 up and 5 down for the Wildcats. And the batter now will be the sophomore Richie Ferreira.
Richie Ferreira up to bat. Center field tonight for the Wildcats. As always, he's been playing in center field this whole season for the Wildcats, actually.
He was all-district honorable mention. As we mentioned earlier, I mentioned that the coach of the year was Travis Free. The player of the year was Tyler Pickens. Caden Black, the defensive player of the year. Eddie Tan, Jason Slay, Jacob Franklin were first-team all-district, with Alex Franklin and Richie Ferreira being honorable mentions. It's tough about Alex Franklin, out for the year now. He was a valuable part of the team, not only as a hitter, but really as a pitcher. I mean, to provide depth, especially in tournament play, you got to have pitching. Here's the pitch to Richie, cut on and missed. I believe the count is 1-2.
Yeah, speaking of Alex Franklin, I mean, we saw him just completely. I mean, he was just kind of a different player this year. We saw him get up on the batter's lineup. He was hitting great, pitching great for the Wildcats as well. He was shaping out to be a good pitcher as well.
2 outs, nobody aboard. Timeout is asked for by and granted. Richie stepped out of the batter's box wearing number 12. Sophomore hits from the left side. Jason Slay on deck for Oak Ridge. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch way outside. And I believe the count is 2-2. We'll see what he signals. Got a little bit more of the football guys rolling in here. They are typically the loudest of the fan base here. Although I hear the Oak Ridge dugout making some noise. Students not making a whole lot of noise. Long day at school, I guess. The ball is down in the dirt. And let's see. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wildcats trying to get their first base runner of the ball game. He's been tough to this point. Tired the first 5 he's faced. 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, weakly third base side, and foul. And the count remains at 3-2.
Karns been playing good defensively, pitching well. He's had a good defense to back him up. He's got a strikeout already for him.
Eddie slowly walks back from first base, takes his time. I don't know if I think there's a fly bothering the umpire at home plate. Kind of swats it away a little bit. Richie trying to swat this one into the seats, actually into the trees. There's no seats here. That pitch is cut on a miss. An outside pitch, and that is 3 up and 3 down for the second consecutive inning. We go to the top of the third inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats and Karns Beavers are scoreless. Karns pitcher doing a really good job. 6 up and 6 down for him. My name is David Clary, along with Joey Weston. I'd like to thank the Oak Ridge Baseball Boosters Club. As we mentioned, the TSSAA charges a ridiculous price of $250 for each playoff ball game that is broadcast because they say it hurts the gate. But anybody who's ever been to a high school baseball game knows that $250 might be the total gate of a high school ball game. I mean, I don't know exactly how much. I don't even know how much they charge, but for to charge $250 to do a game and make the boosters have to pay for that is ridiculous because they don't have that much money anyway. But that's what they do, and we thank them for allowing us to broadcast. We go to the top of the third. We'll be back in a moment. We go to the top of the third inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Go back to the top of the order. Joey?
Dylan Owens is the batter. He had a double his last at bat, drilled it out to kind of left center field, and got the double off that. Like I said,
His runner was the first out of the inning. He was kind of had a base running mistake as he tried to advance to third on a grounder to the Oak Ridge's shortstop, and he was gunned down. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Inside corner for a called strike, and the count is even 1 ball and 1 strike. Pizza was given out by different businesses, and I think there was 25 free tickets given to Oak Ridge students, and they're here. 1-1 pitch, breaking pitch. Oh, another nice one. Breaks into the mid of the catcher, Kyron Welch, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the third in a scoreless ball game. Kyron Welch gives the sign, and the freshman Mikey Teasley comes to the plate, the 1-2 pitch. That one's an overthrow all the way up and back to the netting here. And the count is 2-2.
say kind of reminded me of the last time Alex Franklin, he kind of injured himself a little bit by doing kind of the same thing. Ball kind of ended up here at the net, and he was talking about how that, affected his arm a little bit.
Another good breaking pitch there, just barely stayed alive, fouled it off. He had had 2 strikes on him the first time he faced him, and then just put one right down the middle, and he hit it about 350 feet. Let's see if Mikey can retire him here in the third. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Fastball way outside. And the count is 2-2. Actually 3-2, according to the umpire. Thank you, sir. 3 balls and 2 strikes. They'll need to give up more base runners. We have seen that the top of their lineup is potent, although they didn't score the first inning. There's a breaking pitch hit on the ground, past the pitcher, fielded by Caden, throws away, and it goes bouncing off the top of the dugout. Caden rushed to get to the ball. He made a nice play, came up with it, and his throw sailed high over Camden Welsh, and that is an error, and the leadoff man is aboard.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I mean, it was good play by Caden to get to that ball. He got there really quick, fielded it cleanly, just a little overthrow. Batting now is Connor Clark, the shortstop. Got on base from a fielder's choice, his first at-bat.
Mikey was a little bit slow at reacting. He wasn't going to get to it, but then Caden, like you said, made a really nice play. Wildcats could use a strikeout or a double play. And pitches down low in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. I think it's the early concern in this ball game is the top of their order has been getting on base, at least to this point. The scary part is the Wildcats have batted 6 players and nobody has got on base. As that pitch, I guess, was a ball. I didn't see a direct signal. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different from the 2 games we've seen before against this Karns team. So obviously they've made some adjustments. They've kind of figured out what Oak Ridge is about.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times, as I said. They've got more incentive, and they played a game yesterday, so the Wildcats haven't played for a while. Runner at first, the pitch. Good stop in the dirt. It's 3 balls and no strikes. So Mike Lee trying to find his control. He loaded the bases back in the first inning, was able to work out of trouble. It's hard to do that, though, a lot. Mikey Teasley, short lead at first for their runner. Pitch, fastball in the outside corner, and that's a called strike. 3 balls and 1 strike.
He's going to have to, do something here, maybe get a strikeout or get an out here. I mean, he's just going to want to try to avoid what happened in that first inning. He was put in a pretty tough position, but managed to get out of it.
Nice pitch there, and he makes it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wildcats, as Joey mentioned, trying to sweep the Beavers. Beat them 8-1 and 10-6 the last time. Much closer game, obviously, the last time. 3-2 pitch, called strike 3. Big pitch there for Mikey Teasley. He fell behind, 3 balls and no strikes, and then came back, boom, 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 3 strikes, and that is out number 1.
That was a great job by Mikey Teasley to work his way back there, and that's a great feeling for him. First out of the inning, and batting now is Riley Hartline, the first baseman. He was hit by a pitch his first at bat.
Hartline, I believe, had 3 hits last night in the win over West. The pitch to him inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Left-handed hitting player for Karns, wearing the big white K on the back of their blue jersey. Wildcats in their cardinal and gray pinstripes. 3rd inning, scoreless ball game. Pitch, outside corner at the knees for a called strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out here in the 3rd. They've got a base runner at first. The Wildcats have yet to pick up a base runner in the ball game. Mikey Teasley, the freshman pitcher, comes to the plate. Hit him again. That's twice. And I noticed earlier the other left-handed batter, his breaking pitch just comes in that way. And he's been hit twice, and you can't allow base runners like that. And now Coach Free wants to go and talk to Mikey. The umpire walks the ball out to him again. Wonder what he said to him that time.
Yeah, I have no clue. Probably some of the same stuff he said at first, but emphasizing a little bit more now.
So they've got runners at first and second, and I think Coach Free wants to kind of settle down his freshman pitcher. He's hit him twice, and they've got the cleanup man batting now, who I think he was the guy who hit the soft single to center back in the first inning. Well, let me shut the mic off here while James plays the music.
Batting for the Beavers is Timmy Harper, the 3rd baseman. He singled his first at bat.
A soft single to center. I see Richie's in a step or 2 here. As the Beavers have runners at first and second. Scoreless ball game. The Beavers trying to jump on top of the Wildcats here. The breaking pitch, he swung at it, and that is strike 1.
Really nice pitch there by Mikey. A lot of movement on that ball once again. Breaking ball's been working for him. His fastball's been working for him. Good pitching by him.
The ball's 1 strike. 1 out here in the 3rd in a scoreless ball game. The pitch, breaking pitch, little inside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. One thing I do like about this umpire is he is telling us where the pitch is, if it's inside or high or low. And that's good for us. 1 ball, 1 strike, although we can see it. Maybe better than he can, but that's not very nice. Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike, fastball hit, foul. Just Didn't get around on it and hit it over towards the first base side. And Mikey ahead in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, another thing I noticed with the umpire, he's really confident with his calls. A lot of times with the balls, you know, not with the strikes. I mean, sometimes he'll delay it a little bit, but he's pretty confident with his calls.
And that's the way a good official should be. And that kind of takes the doubt out of everybody's mind. 1-2 pitch, breaking pitch. Oh, just a little bit outside and perhaps low. And the count is 2-2. Beavers have runners at first and second. We have a scoreless game here at Bobby Hopkins in this District 3 tournament ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Short lead at second. Harley lead at first. Mikey Teasley checks the runner at second. The 2-2 pitch. Hit foul. Back our way. And guess who's ducking? Caleb Riker. That's our camera guy today. We appreciate him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is signaled in from the Oak Ridge dugout, received by the Oak Ridge catcher, Kyron Welch. 2-2 pitch, breaking pitch, swings and he misses. Strike 3, and that is out number 2. Really nice pitch there again. That breaking pitch is working beautifully for Mikey Teasley.
Yeah, super nice, and that'll be his 4th strikeout of the game. Mikey Teasley, it's doing a great job so far. Batting now is Tyler Millsaps, the catcher, who also struck out his first at-bat.
Appreciate all the people who have made our broadcasts all season long possible. Obviously tonight with the TSSAA ripping us off for $250. We'd like to thank the Oak Ridge Baseball Boosters for paying that rights fee. Breaking pitch, cut on and missed. They don't really have an answer. And, you know, he has done a good job of keeping that pitch out of the strike zone, too.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Mikey, you know, he's pitching great so far.
No score here. 3rd inning. Top of the order has been rough on Mikey to this point. He's trying to get out of another jam. There's 2 outs. Pitch. It's fastball. Good stop there by Kyron. Kept the runners from advancing. They're at first and second. They had to stay put. 1 ball, 1 strike. Any Braves fans out there, James? The Braves swept the Fish, while the Mets got swept by the Tigers. Yep, Finn's down. Finn's dead. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball hit on the ground, in the hole. Nice play. They've got a force out at third, and that's out number 3. Great range again by Caden Black. He rolled to his right. Tyler Pickens, the third baseman, got to the bag, and they got the force out at third. So once again, Mikey Teasley works his magic. He got into trouble. He worked out of it. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning here in this District 3 tournament ball game at Bobby Hopkins Field in Oak Ridge. We've got a scoreless ball game, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. You mentioned Matthew Swigert in the house here. I was talking to him. He's a big Red Sox fan. My Braves got the Red Sox on Tuesday and Wednesday down at Truist Park. I told him to come on. He's come the last couple of years. Might as well come again. I like Matthew. He's a good guy. His dad is Officer Swigert. He's here. Is his mother here? I didn't see her.
I have no clue. I have not seen her yet.
Pitch to Jason Slay is high and inside. We got an even count now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joey, the Wildcats trying to get their first base runner. The Wildcats have not gotten anybody aboard. This guy's been tough on them. 6 up and 6 down.
Yeah, it's been a rough start for the Wildcats for sure. We haven't seen it too often where they're in a bit of a pickle here in the first couple innings, but they get that one runner on base and they kind of just roll. They get their momentum going really fast.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Jason Slay, senior member of the Wildcats. He was a member of that all-district team. Congratulations to the senior. 1-2 pitch to him. Bounced about a yard in front of the plate on the left side in the left-handed batter's box in front of it. And the count even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out as the Wildcats bat in the 3rd inning. 0-0 our score. Caleb doing scoreboard work and camera. Joey doing stats and color. I'm just enjoying this game. Here's the pitch, breaking pitch, and a beauty just floats in there, and Jason couldn't pull the trigger on it, and that's another strikeout.
That is his 3rd in a row. 3 strikeouts in a row for Dylan Owens.
If you're wondering why it goes silent, if you're just tuning us in, we turn down the mics anytime the walk-up music comes on because as that pitch to, oh boy, that was low and outside. That's the first pitch he's really missed on. That was low and outside. And Cam back in. What I was saying here, YouTube shuts us down when we play music sometimes as that pitch is fouled. Back out of play. So we turn our mics down. The mics are still functioning, I hope, but we want to stay on the air throughout the broadcast and have the game archived. We've had a couple of them pulled because of music played in the background. YouTube can't differentiate between us playing it and somebody else. There's a solid base hit and a good start for the Wildcats. They got a base runner. Cam takes a wide turn at first. The ball was hit down the line. Right fielder got to it pretty well, and that's the first base runner of the ball game for the Wildcats.
Great hit by Cam. I mean, it smooth swings, line drive down the right field line, so great hit.
Izzy Mitchell, the batter, third baseman, thinks he's going to bunt. He's way in. Looks down at the sign. He double checks the sign at third. Now look how, if I were that third baseman, I hope he's got a good dentist because he is in deep on this one. If Izzy swings away, and he is going to bunt it, this time he bunts it past the pitcher. It's a beauty. Pitcher makes a nice play, but he can't get the out. Great job by Izzy Mitchell on the bunt. The third baseman charged, but he got it past the pitcher. The pitcher really made a nice sliding play, but he just couldn't come up with it. And now the Wildcats have something going here in the third with runners at first and second with 1 out and Caden Black the batter. Caden Black stands in. The Wildcats for their first scoring threat of the ball game. Their first 2 base runners, the top of the order. Caden lined out his first time. He takes one outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes.
This is nice for the Wildcats here. They've got Caden Black, Mikey Teasley, and Tyler Pickens coming up here. So if they can get things rolling, try to win this, or not win the game, but try to take the lead here early on, get the first couple points up on the board.
That might help Mikey's confidence too, as that pitch is outside corner, I guess. Kind of is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked a little outside, but he has been fairly consistent, so I'll give him that. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on for the Wildcats in a scoreless game. They bat here in the third. Pitch to Black. He squares to bunt, takes one high and outside, and the count is 2-1. Your lead runner out there is Cam Welch. He's not the speediest. He's not slow, but you don't typically have you want him, the big guy, trying to steal third. But, you know, Coach Free, you never know. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch to Caden. Cut on and missed. Pitch was way outside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Caden Black lined out to second his last at-bat. Not a bad hit. I mean, it just kind of went right at him. It would have been a really nice hit otherwise.
I'm not sure if Caden was trying to take a shot at left field or not. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Defensive Player of the Year in District 3. And the pitch to him. Hit into left field, a base hit. The Wildcats will have the bases loaded. And I think he tried to do that on the previous pitch, Joey. I think he tried to take a shot because there was a huge hole, honestly, between the third baseman and the shortstop, and he just put it perfectly, and the Wildcats have the bases loaded. So both teams have loaded the bases. Karns unable to score in the first inning. Let's see what the Wildcats can do with the top of the order. Mikey Teasley, the batter, the pitch to him. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. I tell you, both pitchers have really looked sharp at times. And this is really the first time that the Karns pitcher has had any kind of difficulty. Beavers have the infielders, at least the first and third guys, as the pitch is cut on and missed, in on the grass. And Mikey behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, like I said, when the Wildcats get a hit, they kind of get their momentum, they get it going. And as you can see, Izzy Mitchell with a great bunt, Caden Black with a great hit. I mean, he saw the gap wide open. He was able to just poke it right through.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Mikey, almost hits him. Should have taken that one. One for the team right there, as you guys say, wear it. He didn't wear it. It's a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's going to be hearing about that one when he gets back to the dugout.
First time I ever heard that, I heard Coach Mark Garrison say that. I'd never heard that before, but very appropriate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch, breaking pitch, hit, foul. Hit hard, but foul. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A nice try there. Got a hold of that one. I mean, nice contact there. Just foul, but otherwise, nice job staying in the count.
Now he's seen that breaking pitch a couple times here. Let's see if he can do something with it. Got to be aggressive because he's been able to float that breaking pitch in there. He's got a good enough fastball, too. Bases full of Wildcats. Scoreless game, 3rd inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mikey Teasley. Pitch, high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Player of the Year, Tyler Pickens on deck for Oak Ridge. Like to see him and many more batting here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
You can hear Coach Free starting to get a little vocal out there. He's giving him some motivation. He's starting to get a little pumped up.
Freshman stands in, 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. The pitch, fastball, cut on a miss. High fastball, that was at shoulder level, and he swung through it for strike 3. So it's going to be up to Tyler Pickens here, and he's picked up the Wildcats many times this year. We'll see what he can do here with the bases loaded. Tyler stands in, the bases loaded. The Wildcats need a 2-out hit. They have the bases loaded. We've yet to see any runs scored in this one. And the pitch to the plate. Breaking pitch, ripped to the gap. Will it be caught? The center fielder is there for out number 3. Ball was hit hard, but out. So both pitchers have worked out of trouble here in this ball game. Both have had the bases loaded. Neither team able to pick up the big hit. That ball was barreled up by Tyler Pickens, but a nice play. The center fielder got over and made the catch, and that ends the inning.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was he made good contact with the center fielder, was able to get over there quickly, and props to him for making that play.
So we go to the top of the 4th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field in this District 3 tournament ball game. We have yet to have any run score. Both teams have now had opportunities, but neither able to score. We'll be back for the fourth inning in a moment. David Clary back here along with Joey Weston and Caleb Riker. Here at Bobby Hopkins Field, we still have nothing but zeros up on the board in terms of the score as we go to the top of the fourth inning.
This is Nick Wilson, the left fielder. Flew out his last at-bat in the first inning.
First pitch is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mikey Teasley, freshman, pitching for the Wildcats. One strike pitch, hit on the ground. Mikey catches it, underhands it on to Cam Welch at first, and that's an easy first out here in the fourth inning. It's been the top of the order for the Beavers, which has given Mikey the biggest trouble to this point.
Yeah, you know, from here, or last batter and down, this is where things kind of went a little south for the Beavers the first inning. You know, no offense to any of them, but batting now is Joey Wright, the center fielder. Flew out to right field his first bat in the second inning.
Right-handed hitter, and the pitch is down low a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
You know,
Thank you for, I'm sorry, Joey.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to thank everybody for watching and thank the Oak Ridge Boosters, baseball boosters, for paying the rights fee. That pitch is outside. Count as 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, no, it's really nice of the booster to do that. I mean, without it, you know, we're trying to broadcast to some of the grandparents out of town, maybe, or you know, if you have more relatives that want to watch the games and can't make it, you know, this is kind of why David does it.
Yeah, and that's why I think the whole rights fee, for, especially for high school baseball. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm a baseball guy, but you know, you don't get hundreds and thousands of people at high school baseball games as that pitch is high and inside. You don't. So it isn't going to take away from the gate. I mean, to broadcast this ball game, we're broadcasting to somebody in Illinois who's got a grandkid on the team, and maybe somebody who's not going to come to the ball game anyway. Anybody going to a high school ball game is going to go, they're not going to stay home and say, you know, I would rather listen to Joey and David on the air as opposed to going to watch a high school game if they're going to go. But TSSAA has to make their money, and they charged us $250, and it's just, you know, that's them. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody aboard. Mikey, a big pitch here. Hit in the right field. Jacob Franklin over and can't get it. And it bounces all the way in the corner. It's got need a little better communication. Jacob has trouble picking it up. He had a long way to go. And he wasn't sure once the ball glanced off his glove where it actually was. Luckily, he didn't advance any farther than second, so they've got a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Yeah, you know, that's unfortunate for Jacob. Tried to make the play. He almost had it. I mean, just about maybe half a foot out of reach, but you know, he tried for it.
Left-handed hitter here. Got to guard that breaking pitch, doesn't hit him in the back foot here. Let's see what Mikey can do. He's been in and out of trouble the entire game, and he's been able to wiggle his way out of it. And he throws a fastball there, and it's high. The count is 1 ball and no strikes.
You know what I've noticed with their lefty hitters, they like to crowd the plate. They get in tight there. You know, Mikey, he pitches a lot to the right side of the plate, so that's something that he's looking for.
He's hit 2 lefties in this one. That pitch is a called strike. Might have been a little bit above the belt, but we'll take it. 1 out, runner at second. Karns dugout's been very active. Joey mentioned that earlier in the ball game. They've been very active, very vocal. Oak Ridge fans in big numbers here, but not very vocal. I see Tina Williams in attendance here.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Here's the pitch. Low and inside, almost hit him again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oak Ridge would be the favorite in this game as the district champions, but, Karns has already played a district game, and sometimes that has a lot to do with kind of shaking off the nerves a little bit. Wildcats looked much better offensively in the previous inning, just could not get the big hit. Karns trying to get on the board here first. The pitch. There's a called strike at the belt on the outer portion of the plate, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice pitch there by Mikey. He's trying to work back into this count here. After last at bat, he's going to want to try to put a couple away and see what he can do.
Top of the 4th, 2-2 pitch, hit on the ground. Shortstop, Caden Black fields it, throws in time for out number 2. Caden is so sure-handed, and that is why he's the District 3 defensive player of the game. So, once again, an opportunity to get out of the inning
Number 5, Garrett Davis.
with 2 outs here in the 4th.
Batting now is Garrett Davis, the second baseman. He grounded out his first at bat.
Right-handed hitter, he's slender, he's tall. See what he can do here. Swings a red bat with a green handle. Runner at second, the pitch. Breaking pitch stays up high. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. The winner of this game will play on Saturday against the winner of Powell and Central. That's going to be taking place tomorrow over at Powell High School.
That'll be a good game. Do you know the scores of their previous by any chance?
Well, I know that Powell, didn't really lose much. So I think they might have split with them. So I think, we were the only team that swept Powell this year. So I think they split. So I don't know the scores, but I know they won the first game with ease, and I think they lost the second game.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good matchup. Both teams really good offensively, from what I noticed. Central, they had a home run, and maybe it was the second or third at bat of the game.
Remember their starting pitcher, that first guy was really good, too. The first guy we saw over at Central.
Yeah, I believe that was Andrew Hill.
Yeah.
Andrew Hill, yeah. I actually just saw he committed to ETSU. So congratulations to him.
Speaking of that, Tyler Pickens, he committed to Cleveland State to play baseball. So congratulations to him. Always good to see when our guys move on to play at the next level. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Mikey comes to the plate. It's high and inside.
I had no clue.
And the count is 2 balls and maybe 3 balls and 1 strike.
9, yeah.
Leadoff man is on deck here, so Mikey doesn't want to lose him. They've got 1 on now. There's 2 outs. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch. Called strike 2. Outer half of the plate. Full count again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's had a lot of deep counts in this one, Joey.
Yeah, he has. He hasn't walked much. He's hit 2 batters so far, actually the same guy, but he really hasn't walked many people. So great pitch there.
Teasley checks the runner at second. 3-2 pitch. Runner going. Hit foul. And out of play. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Caleb doing our camera work today. I guess track season over for you, Caleb? It is. So freshman season is at its conclusion for Mr. Riker. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Golf ended a long time for you, I know.
Oh, yeah.
3-2 pitch. Breaking pitch. Oh, man. They say it was outside. The Oak Ridge fans wanted it. And he knew that Oak Ridge would argue about it. He knew that Oak Ridge would argue about it because he was immediately telling us where that pitch was. And Kyron obviously had some words for him, or his body language kind of told him that, yeah, coach or Mr. Official, I don't agree with that. It was close, but he's been given that pitch all day long, and it brings up the leadoff man, and he's a good one.
I think everybody in this whole stadium thought that was a strike. He's been calling that all day, like he said. That is very surprising. Batting now is Dylan Owens, the leadoff man for the Beavers. He's also pitching tonight. He's been on base 2 times with a double and got on base from an error.
And the first pitch to him, same location, different call, strike 1. Got a scoreless ball game. We're in the 4th inning. The Beavers have runners now on the corners, 1st and 3rd. Wildcats had a golden opportunity the last inning with the bases loaded and 1 out, unable to score. Beavers have had lots of base runners in this one. Here's the pitch, breaking pitch, and a stolen base. So now they've got 2 runners in scoring position. And a 2-ball, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count, sorry.
Davis moves to second.
Stolen base there for Davis. 2 outs in a nail-biter here at Bobby Hopkins Field, the Beavers and the Wildcats. Karns, a traditional good team in our district. Not as good this year, but playing the Wildcats tough as we expected them to do. 1-ball, 1-strike. Teasley steps off the mound. Wipes the sweat off his brow. Toes the rubber once again. Looks in to Kyron, the junior catcher. 1-ball, 1-strike. 2 outs, 2 on, no score.
Difficult position for Teasley. This is probably their best batter here. So he's going to have to do something big against this guy.
Called strike on the outside half of the plate, and the count is 1-2. He has been pretty consistent. I'll give him that. I mean, -1 pitch, you're right. 1-ball, 2 strikes. Big pitch right here. Let's see what Mikey can do. Breaking pitch, good stop by Kyron. It was outside, swept outside, but he caught it in the dirt and kept it from going back to the bricks. I'd hate to see that first run score on a pass ball or a wild pitch. Mikey trying to get out of the 4th inning against a tough hitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The freshman has the sign and the pitch. Outside, ball 3. And that was outside. The Oak Ridge fans wanted it, but that definitely was outside.
Yeah. And David, I might have to take responsibility for that walk. I think I might have jinxed it, actually. Because I said right before that he hasn't walked a single guy. And, but not a great call, but that could have been on me.
Well, Joey, we'll see what happens here. See if we have to boot you out the window. 3-2 pitch, breaking pitch, hit in the air, foul territory. The Welches give it a look, but it's well out of play. And we once again have a 3-ball, 2-strike count upcoming. We're on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. All of our games are archived except the ones that have been taken off the air because of Coach James Branson's music that he plays up in the press box. But the rest of them are archived. You can watch them all. We've got games all the way from the 80s in football and basketball, more recently in baseball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch from Mikey Teasley, hit in the air, left side. Izzy should make a play. He's coming in hard on it. He's under it. Izzy Mitchell makes the catch, and Mikey Teasley wiggles out of trouble. He is a magician. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Once again, a team gets runners on. Once again, they leave them stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th in a game that we hope to go 7 innings. Scoreless game. We'll be back in a moment. Eddie Tan leads things off for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Eddie hit a little swing back to the pitcher, and he drills one this time. They might get down for a hit. Nope, the left fielder's over. He makes the catch. Ball just held up and out. So Eddie has seen two pitches, and he has two outs. That ball was hit really well, but it just kind of held up for the left fielder. Their outfielders have seen some action there in left and center, as Jacob Franklin is the batter now for the Wildcats. Right-handed hitter. Wildcats need base runners once again. The Wildcats have Richie Ferreira on deck. The Wildcats loaded the bases the last inning with one out, failed to score. The Beavers seems like they've had at least two runners on in almost every inning but one. But neither team able to break through to this point. The pitch to Jacob, cut on and foul tipped at the plate, and it's 1-1. Karns and Oak Ridge playing here at Bobby Hopkins Field. Tomorrow, Powell and Central, I believe, playing over at Powell. The winner of this game will play the winner of that game on Saturday. And then there's game Sunday. Here's the pitch, hit in the air on the infield. Second baseman calls for it, staggers a bit, but makes the catch for out number 2. Wildcats struggling offensively to get something going here. Better now will be Richie Ferreira. Two up and two down for the Wildcats. Offensively, the Wildcats have struggled to get anything going, and there's a swing and a miss for Richie, and the count is 0-1. Haven't really made him work much this inning. One pitch to Eddie, and he lined out, and then just a moment ago, Jacob, that pitch is down low, a ball, one strike. Jason Slay is on deck for the Wildcats. But there are two outs, nobody aboard here as the Wildcats bat in the fourth inning. This District 3 tournament ball game. Pitch was outside, but he swung through it, and the count is now 1-2 strikes. That pitch wasn't even close to the strike zone. He tried to pull it once again. You know, as Richie stands back in, pretty solid hitter all season for the Wildcats. Honorable mention all district for the sophomore. 1-2 pitch to him, and I don't blame him. The pitchers, Richie is in his previous at bat went fishing for those as well. And Tommy laid off. 1-2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Wildcats batting in the fourth in a scoreless ball game. The pitch, this one's cut on a miss, and that's another strikeout, and that is out number 3. So the Wildcats are retired in order. We go to the top of the fifth inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats and Karns Beavers are tied at 0. We'd like to thank the Oak Ridge Baseball Boosters for paying our rights fee to the TSSAA to allow us to broadcast the ball game. We'll be back with the fifth inning in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins. We go to the fifth inning. Scoreless ball game. And Mikey's first pitch is hit foul down the left side and out of play.
Batting now is Connor Clark, the shortstop. He struck out his second at bat and got on base from a fielder's choice, his first.
He's the number 2 hitter in their lineup. Mikey continues to work in and out of trouble. You'd expect that as a freshman. The poise is what's gotten him out of it. And he's had just about every pitch working effectively. Karns has been hitting the ball pretty well. That ball is hit foul out of play and over the top of us. Mikey ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Somebody's got to break through. Hopefully it's the guys in pinstripes, but it's just been a pitcher's duel to this point.
That's right. Another game we've seen kind of like this was against, I believe it was Pigeon Forge, if I'm not mistaken. And the run that they scored was scored off of, and the batter struck out, and Kyron Welch picked it up and threw it to first base to get him out.
And that is the first out of the inning.
Batting now is Riley Hartline, the first baseman. He has been hit 2 times so far in this game.
And that pitch is outside. So, I've never been hit twice in the same ball game, but you've got to be a little leery when you're standing in there. It's like, am I going to get hit again? And here's the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be down low, I guess. Hartline hadn't seen a strike yet. Seen a couple bruises, but he hadn't seen any strikes. 2-0 pitch, breaking pitch outside. Now Mikey may be trying to avoid a hitting.
Yeah, I actually believe that hit him in the same spot twice, right? I mean, the calf the first time, and I think it was somewhere down there again the second.
3-0 pitch. Almost hit him again. Either way, it's ball 4. And so he's been on base 3 times. He's kind of limping that way. maybe that's what you do. You just pop him in the calf a couple times, and
He's been hit 4 times in the past 2 days, apparently.
According to Caleb Riker, Hartline's been hit 4 times in the past 2 days. He does crowd the plate, as you said, or he's up there. Looks like we're going to have a runner in the ball game for him. Here comes their cleanup guy once again.
This is number 15, Timmy Harper, the third baseman, singled his first at bat and struck out his second.
He kind of reminds me, the Mets have a guy named Vogelbach. He kind of looks like him. He's kind of not incredibly tall, but he's very stout. So they've got a runner at first, 1 out here. Teasley has had a runner in every inning except 1. That breaking pitch. Oh, that is called a strike. He was a little slow at that. I thought he was going to call it a ball. He was still slow in reacting, but he got it right. Strike 1.
On first, the runner who came in for Riley Hartline is Braden Elliott, number 27.
Pitch, low and outside. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield remains the same. You've got junior Izzy Mitchell in left, sophomore Richie Ferreira in center, senior Jacob Franklin in right field. I'll get the infielders in a moment. 1-1 pitch, hit on the ground, could be 2. Jason Slay, Caden Black, that's 1, and out number 3 on the double play. The old 4-6-3 double play, and that retires the Beavers here in the 5th inning. Just an easy ground ball out and an easy inning there for Mikey Teasley. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field in this District 3 tournament ball game. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Karns Beavers are scoreless, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins. Old-fashioned pitcher's duel here at Bobby Hopkins. We have a scoreless game as we go to the fifth inning. Bottom of the fifth. Pitch is hit foul right back towards us. You know, Joey, I think if that had come through that net, I think that might have popped you in the nose.
Yeah, and I looked up and the ball was just kind of right there. That was.
But fortunately, there was a net. The count is 0-1. Be Slay, Welch, in the Wildcat lineup. That pitch is a called ball. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. That one looked good there.
Yeah, I guess a little low. Maybe.
I guess he
I
didn't
don't
really
know.
he didn't really signal. It's out of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff man for the Wildcats. That's the makeup call, as that one was a little outside. That's a called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wildcats have got to get something going. They've had one inning where they've had people on. Other than that, he has really shut down the Wildcat offense, which has been pretty potent all year. And the pitch is strike 3, and he tags him out. How many strikeouts is that for the Wildcats here?
That would be the 6th strikeout against the Wildcats, actually.
Camden Well.
The Wildcats only have, I think, 2 hits in the ball game that I remember. Cam Welch had one of them. Izzy Mitchell had the bunt single. And Caden Black, the little poke to left field. Wildcats is struggling offensively. And you got to give all the credit in the world to the Karns pitcher. He has been really, really good.
Phenomenal. I mean, he has played great, but this is kind of where the Wildcats picked up their momentum, starting with Camden Welch. Great hit out to right field. So let's hope he can try to start something again.
Yeah, they loaded the bases that inning, but were unable to score. Izzy's on deck for the Wildcats. This is, I believe, a number 8 hitter. I guess Caden will get a chance to bat here in this inning. We're in the 5th inning in a game that's moving quite rapidly, which I'm happy about. I've got to drive to Atlanta tonight, so that really.
Yeah, what time are you getting there?
Hopefully before midnight. That's all I can say. The pitch is outside the ball. And the count is 3 balls and no strikes. So get a chance to get a base runner in. If I were Cam Welch, the freshman, I would keep that bat solidly on my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, this pitcher is yet to walk a batter.
Oh, let's see if you've just jinxed him here.
Yeah.
3 balls and no strikes. The pitch.
No,
Strike 1.
Not that time.
That's the old automatic, but that was a good pitch anyway. It was right down the middle. We'll see if Cam can do something with this 3-1 pitch. There's 1 out in the 5th in a scoreless ball game. Pitch, cut on a missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And you know what you say a lot, David, is that Camden, he's very selective with his pitches. He likes to wait for that right one. So you'll notice that when he's up to bat.
See what the freshman can do here. It's getting a little tense here. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. Not even close. So. And you can see by the look of the pitcher's face, he's not happy at all with that. See, the Wildcats consider putting a runner in the game for Cam. I see they're looking it over. Let's see. We might have a pinch runner in the ball game for Cam. Might put a play on. We had 1 bunt earlier. Izzy had a beautiful bunt the last time. Wildcats just need somebody in scoring position. And Izzy did, he bunted, got on base the last time. The third baseman's in once again deep on the grass. He does square the bunt and pulls back on it and takes a strike.
Yeah, it was a great bunt last time. He kind of moved it out to the first baseman and was just able to put in a great area for him to get on base, move Camden up, and they both ended up taking another base from Caden Black.
1 out, 1 on, 1 strike on Izzy. He squares to bunt, takes the ball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Caden Black on deck. He'll be followed by Mikey Teasley. Top of the order for the Wildcats. Coming up soon. Izzy's trying to get on base once again. Welch takes his lead, a short one at first. And the pitch, he does square to bunt, almost hit him in the head. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Izzy's been batting a lot here in the last 2 weeks or so. I'll tell you, we were over at Bearden last Friday, and he almost hit a home run. That ball landed at the base of the foul pole in Bearden. It's not a long field, but he almost had a home run. He squares the bunt again. He missed it. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tried to push it once again. You want to get it past the third baseman if you can, or past the pitcher like he did before. But now he's got 2 strikes on him. Let's see what he does. He looks down for the sign once again. He almost hit a home run at Bearden. I mean, it was close. 2-2 pitch. Cut on a miss. That is a strikeout, and that is out number 2.
Batting now for the Wildcats.
Neither pitcher willing to give in at all. And let's see what Caden could do. Caden picked up a hit his last plate appearance. Defensive Player of the Year. He's come up with some big hits this year. Short lead at first for Cam Welch. He walked, but there are 2 outs now in a scoreless game. Pitches on the outside corner for a called strike. Last time, Caden just hit it where he was pitched. He just kind of poked it into left field. Third baseman is in on the grass once again, anticipating a possible bunt. Caden doesn't do that much. Caden doesn't lay down the bunt that often. He's usually swinging away despite his great speed. Breaking pitch hit in the hole, base hit. Another hit for Caden Black. The Wildcats will have him on the corners if Cam can get in. He was a little slow getting over that way, and I thought if that ball hadn't been cut off there, that Cam might have been gunned at third.
Yeah, nice hit there by Caden Black as well.
Let's see if Mikey Teasley can help himself here. He had an opportunity his last plate appearance. He had the bases loaded and struck out, or had a couple on. Yeah, the bases loaded and struck out. Let's see if Caden goes on the first pitch. And he is. The pitch is a breaking pitch down low, and that's a stolen base for Caden Black. So a hit means perhaps 2. Well, with Caden out there, it does mean 2. It's in the outfield. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Mikey Teasley. Help yourself, Mikey. You're pitching a great ball game. Knock in some runs here for yourself. 1-0 pitch. Breaking pitch stays high and inside. Tyler Pickens on deck for the Wildcats. 2 balls and no strikes.
Mikey grounded out his first at bat and struck out his last. He's looking for a little breakthrough here. Try to get a run in, maybe 2, and try to take the lead in this game.
2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. Down low, ball 3. District 3 Player of the Year, Tyler Pickens on deck for the Wildcats. Mikey has it 3 balls and no strikes. We have a scoreless game. We're in the 5th inning of this District 3 tournament ball game. A thriller here from Bobby Hopkins. It's getting dark here. The lights haven't been turned on yet. Freshman back in, 3-0. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Down the first goes Mikey, and here comes Tyler Pickens. Bases full of Wildcats here, trying to break it open, but 2 outs once again. Tyler Pickens had this same situation a couple innings ago. He lined one to the gap, but it was an out. Let's see what the District 3 Player of the Year can do with the bases loaded here. First pitch to him, hit in the air, right side, in the gap. Right fielder is not going to get it. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. Oak Ridge takes the lead, 2-0. A double. Tyler Pickens, the District 3 Player of the Year, doubles, and Oak Ridge leads Karns 2-0 here in the 5th inning. Big hit by Tyler Pickens.
Batting now for Oak Ridge, number 9, the designated hitter, Eddie Tan.
That's why he's the District 3 Player of the Year, Joey Weston.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great hit.
Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Field, where the Wildcats have taken a 2-0 lead over the Karns Beavers on a double by Tyler Pickens. The Wildcats have runners at second and third. Eddie Tan, the batter. The pitch to him is hit in the air, left side, shallow left field. The shortstop over in foul territory makes the catch for out number 3. Eddie Tan has seen 3 pitches, and he's got 3 outs. But a big inning for the Wildcats. The Wildcats get the big hit finally. Credit Mikey Teasley working a walk to get the bases loaded to get Tyler Pickens to the plate, and he does what he does best, and that's come up in the clutch. And the Wildcats go to the 6th inning. Joey now leading by a score of 2-0.
A great job by Tyler there to get those runs in. Came up huge for his team.
Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the top half of the 6th inning. The Wildcats now enjoy a 2-0 lead, and the Wildcats have made a pitching change.
Yes, they have. Jacob Franklin will be coming in for Mikey Teasley. We saw Jacob Franklin face the Karns Beavers last time they played.
Yeah, that game was over at Karns. Jacob's a senior. He's on the All-District team. A stellar outfielder for the Wildcats. Hasn't pitched pitched as much this year. But he's always been good at it. He's going to get the first out here. Tyler Pickens is going to make the catch for out
Tyler
number
Pickens
one. So
with the
two
catch.
pitches, and Jacob has recorded the first out of the inning.
Nice pitch there, and Tyler will be taking over first base. Mikey Teasley moves to third, and Jacob Franklin on the mound. In the field, Camden Welch at right field.
Mikey Teasley came out of the game 101 pitches in the ball game, and it's probably good that he got out of there. I don't want to tire him out as that pitch is cut on this, and Jacob comes in that sidearm stuff. Little submarine three-quarters action. He's a right-hander. Let's see, there must have been a ball loose. But 101 pitches, he walked a lot of guys. He had a lot of base runners, and that's the reason why the pitch count was up so high. But, yeah, you had to take him out, really.
Yeah, I mean, he walked some, he hit some people, but he also had 5 strikeouts, and he dug himself out of a lot of the innings. So that props to him for being able to do what he did.
1 strike the count. The pitch, outside corner. And painting the corner is Jacob Franklin, and he is ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He struggled a little bit at Karns in that ball game, but he's always been pretty solid for the Wildcats. Last year, he was really, really good for the Wildcats. Our 0-2 pitch, he almost took a swing at it. Count is 1-2. Had arm surgery in the offseason. It's well documented. We've talked about that a lot. He moved to the sidearm way of pitching. He doesn't have the velocity, but typically has good control and has lots of movement. 1-2 pitch. Let's see what we can do. Cut on a miss. That's a strikeout. And he did that with an untied shoe. And that's out number 2.
Batting now is Joey Wright, the center fielder. He flew out to right field his first at bat and doubled his second.
Oak Ridge on top of the Beavers by a score of 2-0 on the Tyler Pickens double in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jacob Franklin trying to get the Beavers out here 1-2-3, working in the middle part of their order. That pitch is on the inside corner, and this is really the best Jacob's looked in some of the games we've seen.
Yeah, that's right. He switched to the sidearm pitching. He came from the overhand pitching, which worked great for him. Been trying out some sidearm, and he's been pitching great so far.
That one he didn't release it well that time, and it sails outside. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody aboard in a 2-0 ball game at the District 3 baseball tournament. Jacob Franklin's a senior. I mentioned he's on the all-district team. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. What a big hit by Tyler Pickens.
Yeah, we were just talking about him earlier, too, how he was a great addition to this team. And how many clutch hits has he had this season? I mean, I feel like it's...
And he's been shut-down pitcher, too, and he's been great in the field. He's just been great for the Wildcats. 2 balls and 1 strike. That one a little bit, well, it was so inside, it was outside. And that's a ball. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Three balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. The pitch. That's called strike 2. We got the benefit of a call. Be nice, guys. Be nice. He might hear us. 3 balls and 2 strikes. You know me, I would never get on an umpire so he could hear me.
Oh, never.
Just kidding. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jacob trying to get him 1-2-3 here in the 6th inning. Jacob comes to the plate. Hit on the ground. Mikey Teasley, a convenient hop, throws high, but guess who's there? Tyler Pickens pulls it down. Jacob Franklin, 3 up and 3 down in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here at Bobby Hopkins. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of the Karns Beavers by a score of 2-0. Let's get some insurance runs, guys. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th in a moment. Welcome back here. Jacob Franklin leads things off in the bottom of the 6th inning. Oak Ridge trying to advance to the second round as that pitch is cut on and missed. Great job by Jacob in the top half of this inning. Got him 1, 2, 3. Trying to get on base here. The Wildcats could use some insurance. That pitch is well out of the strike zone. Jacob swings through it, and the count is 0-2. Richie Ferreira on deck for the Wildcats. Wildcats could use some insurance, Joey Weston.
Yeah, they definitely could. I mean, the Wildcats haven't been too hot at the plate. The last inning was really nice for the Wildcats. Great hit by Tyler Pickens there. 2-run double for him.
No balls and 2 strikes. That one floats outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wildcats, the lights are still not been turned on here at Bobby Hopkins. 1 ball, 2 strikes, starting to get dark. 1-2 pitch, bounced our way off the netting, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the first 2 pitches, the Carr's pitcher is kind of a smart guy. The first 2, Jacob waved out, and they're well out of the strike zone. He's thrown 2 out of the strike zone since, and Jacob's laid off of them. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch cut on a miss, and that was a little bit more down the middle, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th inning.
And now for Oak Ridge, the center fielder.
Richie Ferreira stands in. He's kind of had a rough night at the plate, but just about all the Wildcats have, to be honest with you. Wildcats have only put 2 on the board here, and Richie takes a strike on the outside half of the plate, and the count is 0-1.
Richard Ferreira is 0-2 thus far in the game. 2 strikeouts. He's having a little bit of a difficult time against this pitcher.
That pitch is way out of the strike zone, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-0 Wildcats. Oak Ridge scored 2 in the 5th inning. Got zeros on the board. At least the lights are running, working in the 5th inning, even though they still say zeros. At least they're on. And the scoreboard is right. 2-0 is our score. Yeah, Joey, I've disappointed you. I know. I haven't done a dad joke yet in this entire game.
I've been waiting for it.
Pitch just hit foul off to the right. I haven't. It's been kind of intense. I didn't think I really should kind of break the monotonous broadcast of pitchers duel. I mean, a lot of people would rather see 13 to 12 ball games, but I like to see pitchers duels. It makes it very intense. I mean, maybe not a whole lot of excitement in terms of offense, but very intense. Here's the 0-2 pitch, cut on and foul tip. He's got to run. Richie swings and he misses. He's going to throw him out. No, he is safe. First thing you do if you strike out, you have got to run. You've got to look, and he is very fortunate that he is on first base because he just barely got down there.
Yeah, that was a lot closer than it should have been.
So the Wildcats have a base runner. So the Wildcats have a base runner with 1 out. Little insurance, as I said, really come in handy as the Wildcats. Richie Ferreira reaches on a strikeout. Wildcats could use this 3rd run. The Wildcats 3 outs away from moving on to the championship game of the winner's bracket. Runner going. Here's the throw down, and he is in there safely with a stolen base. Good throw, really, by the catcher for Karns, but Richie got a good jump, and he's in scoring position with 1 out.
Yeah, that was a really nice throw. I mean, I was thinking he almost had him, but it really just came down to that last second. Nice stolen base, though, by Richie Ferreira.
1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning in a 2-0 ball game. The Wildcats in the lead. Richie takes his lead off of second. Pitch hit foul by Jason Slay back to the screen. And the count is 0-2.
Jacobs had a little bit of a tough night tonight at the plate. He's gone 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. So he's looking to turn things around here.
Right-handed hitting senior. He was put on the all-district team. Coach Free was the coach of the year First district regular season championship for a Wildcats team since the 70s, so he well deserving. We've won some tournament championships. Richie's heading to third. That's a breaking pitch, and here comes the throw, and it bounces away. Here comes, no, Richie can't go.
That went out.
And wisely, he stays at third because the ball didn't get away. He would have been dead if he had tried to go. I thought it was going to. A lot of times, ball goes rolling into the outfield, but that one bounced off the glove and didn't go far at all. But now he's at third, so a wild pitch or a pass ball, and the Wildcats can get a run.
Yeah, great job by Richie with the base running. 2 stolen bases for him. Puts him in scoring position and, add a little insurance run for him, and that'll be huge coming into this next inning.
Jason back in. The pitch to him. Breaking pitch, cut on a missed. That's a strikeout. That's out number 2, so it's going to come down to Cameron Welch, the freshman. He's been on base a couple times. Has a base hit to his credit, and Wildcats could use one of those right here. Two outs. Wildcats with a runner at third in a 2-0 ball game. Pitch. That's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Oh, a wild pitch, a pass ball would be nice right here.
Yeah, it would. And, especially Cam Welch up to bat. He's had a nice night tonight. He's had a single. He's been walked, and he ended up scoring.
Pitch to him is on the outside corner. Evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Izzy Mitchell on deck for Oak Ridge. There are 2 outs in a 2-0 ball game at the district tournament. The Wildcats and Beavers playing. Pitch. Fastball, evidently just a little bit low. I think last year the Wildcats defeated Karns in the district tournament, if I can remember correctly, in a first-round ball game. Am I right, guys? Yeah, thought so. Cam back in. 2 outs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Richie Ferreira takes his lead at third. Pitch. That's in there for a called strike. Belt high down the middle. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right, they did. They had to play PAL in the second game. Wildcats might get a chance to play PAL again, but, in double elimination is the pitch. Cut on a miss. They're going to have to throw him out. And here comes the throw. And the run does not count, and the third out is recorded. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. The Wildcats 3 outs away from moving on in the District 3 tournament. And Jacob Franklin will try to close things out for the Wildcats. 2-0 Wildcats as we go to the 7th. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Bobby Hopkins Field. David Clary, Joey Weston, Caleb Riker. 2-0 Wildcats. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Jacob Franklin out for his 2nd inning of work here. He got him 1-2-3 in the previous inning. First pitch is on the inside corner, a little inside, and it's ball one.
Leading things off for the Beavers this inning is Brandon Bilbrey, the right fielder. Struck out his first at bat and grounded out his second.
1 ball, no strikes. Jacob comes to the plate and hits him. Left-handers have been hit today, and that's the first base runner allowed by Jacob Franklin, and I think that might be it for him.
Bilbrey heads to first.
He's going to come out. Let's see if he's going to bring a new pitcher in. I believe he is, and Tyler Pickens is going to come in and close it out for the Wildcats. I think the Wildcats, Jacob did great the previous inning, but I think he wants a little firepower, a little to shut things down here, and they're going to bring Tyler Pickens in, who probably will be the starting pitcher on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. Tyler is a great pitcher. We saw him play against Powell. He might be doing that again, so he had a great game against them.
Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Tyler Pickens has taken over for Jacob Franklin. Watching him warm up here. He's been a little out of the strike zone, but, you know, he's come up big for the Wildcats all season long. He is 6-0 on the year. Doesn't pitch usually in relief, but he's just trying to close things out for the Wildcats and get him into the game on Saturday.
Yeah, be really clutch for Tyler here. He's already had a clutch hit. Maybe he can clutch this one and, you know, end the ball game and for a win for the Wildcats here.
Runner at first. He was hit by a pitch. The first pitch is a fastball. It's high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. He expects to pitch on Saturday. Doesn't come in relief very often, if at all, this year. And so it's kind of a tough situation he's in. But he's been solid all year. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch. High and inside again. 2 balls and no strikes. Trying to find his control. Needs to settle down here. Don't want to put the tying runners on. Wildcats have a 2-0 lead. We're in the 7th inning and a nail biter here at Bobby Hopkins. Most of the fans on the edge of their seats. 2 balls and no strikes. Karns dugout making noise. See if Tyler can find the strike zone here. He does. That pitch is fouled off to the right and out of play. Way behind on that one. He's got a live fastball going.
Yeah. Jacob Franklin back out in right field. Camden Welch back to first base.
Teasley's playing third. Black at short. Slay at second. Everyone else the same. Pitch cut on a missed. That's a good one. His best fastball in the strike zone. And the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it was a great pitch, and he's gonna try to have to work off of that one, and put the ball in the strike zone again. Because when he does, they can't really match it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first. Nobody out. 2-0 Wildcats as Karns bats in the 7th. Strike 3. Go sit down, young man. That is out number 1 here in the 7th inning. So he was wild the first 2 pitches, but then 3 consecutive strikes, and the Wildcats will see the Beavers, the pitcher and the number 1 hitter in their lineup, coming to bat with runner at first. He represents the tying run.
This is Dylan Owens, the double, his first at bat, which was a bomb out to center left field, and then he flew out to left again, and he got on base from an error.
That double went to the wall, so we know he's got power. Power against power here. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Runner at first. 1 out here in the 7th. 2-0 Wildcats. Pickens comes to the plate. A little high.
Sorry, my bad.
2 balls and no strikes. Might have been a little inside. It's just above the belt. 2 balls, no strikes. Tyler Pickens looks in. Kyron Welch, the catcher, gives him the sign. Short lead at first. They don't want to run themselves out of an inning. That pitch is hit foul back our way and out of play.
And he's starting to find the strike zone a little bit more. He's getting a little more confident up there after that strikeout, so he's going to have to keep carrying that on.
One thing that's humoring me a little bit, the umpire, evidently there's a fly or something flying around him. He's swatting around as here's the 2-1 pitch from Tyler Pickens, way outside. You don't want to walk him, and that brings the go-ahead run to the plate in a 2-0 ball game. Tyler had the big hit to give them the lead anyway. He falls behind the leadoff man for the Beavers. 3 balls and 1 strike. Struck out the previous guy. Let's see what we can do here with a 3-1 pitch. Timeout is asked for by the batter. Breaks the concentration. Oak Ridge students making a little bit more noise here. They really have been kind of quiet for them. Usually the football guys are pretty vocal. I guess the hard day of practice. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch. Hit well. Hit deep. Very deep. Back on it. Richie Ferreira. Izzy Mitchell can't make the play. It's picked up by Richie, and they've got a double, and they've got 2 runners in scoring position. They're going to get a play at the plate. He is out. He is out. He is out. You are out. You are out. Out. You are out. 2 outs. You are dead to rights, buddy. Out number 2. That ball hit 365 feet. The Wildcats got the ball in, and there's 2 outs. Great play. Kyron Welch somehow held on to it. The Karns coach right now is arguing that Kyron blocked the plate. I believe the throw took him into it. That's what they're arguing about right now. That is the 2nd out of the inning. They have a runner at second. You can't hit the ball any farther than that young man just hit it. But a great play, and a great play by Kyron Welch to hold on to it. The Karns faithful not too happy. I think what they were saying, they thought honestly that there was catcher's interference. Now the umpire talking with Coach Free about it. Now all the students are lining up behind the get a shot of that, Caleb. The students are behind the plate. 2 outs here. The Wildcats hoping to hold on. They still lead it by a score of 2-0. And let's see what Tyler Pickens can do. Wow, you can't hit the ball any farther than that and stay in the park.
That was about a foot shy of tying up this game. I mean, I personally thought that ball was gone. But, great hit to the batter. Props to him. But also great play by Richie Ferreira. And I believe it was Mikey Teasley who got the ball to Kyron Welch to make that tag.
So they've got a runner at second, 2 outs. The pitch. Boy, he's squeezing the strike zone now. That pitch was just barely an inch above the belt. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Karns fans are not happy. The Oak Ridge students are not helping their demeanor much as they are over. That pitch is a called strike. 1-1 the count. Oak Ridge trying to move on, trying to send the Beavers to defeat here. Get a chance to play on Saturday against Powell or Central. 1-1, 2 outs, runner at second, and a 2-0 game for the Wildcats. Pitch cut on. That's actually a called strike. Strike 2. So the Wildcats are 1 strike away from a victory over the Karns Beavers. Pickens did it with his bat, trying to finish him off with his right arm. 1-2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second. Tyler Pickens, senior Wildcat. 1-2 pitch, high. 2 strikes. You talk about a lot of drama, Joey. We've got a lot of drama here at Bobby Hopkins Field today.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, that ball, that almost just tied the game up. And then they turn it back and get the out, stop the run. Wildcats have done a great job here.
2-2 pitch. There he goes! Sit down, young man! Oak Ridge wins! Oak Ridge wins! The Wildcats have defeated the Karns Beavers by a final score of 2-0. Strikeout of the Beaver, and the Wildcats move on, and they wave goodbye to the Karns Beavers. The student section does, as Oak Ridge has defeated Karns 2-0. They defeat the Beavers for the 3rd time this season, and the Wildcats will move on to the Saturday championship game of the winners bracket with a chance with a win to move on to the finals and the Region 2 baseball tournament.
Great job there by Tyler once again. Came in clutch for his team when they needed him.
Oak Ridge students having a lot of fun here. Kind of going at it with some of the Karns people. A lot of fun here. I love it when the students come out and have fun. And they're having fun here as the Karns Beavers have been defeated by a final score of 2-0. We'll have the post game coming up for you on our YouTube channel. The Wildcats have won by a final score of 2-0. Big win, Joey Weston, for the Wildcats.
Yeah, great job there by the Wildcats. Not a great offensively game for them, but they came in the 5th inning, got some hits. Tyler Pickens, huge hit there, brought in 2 runs, and that's what sealed the game for them.
We'll have our post-game show coming up in a moment. I'm going to kick out of here, and James Branson's going to do that for me, and along with Joey Weston. You see the Wildcats celebrating out in the outfield. 2-0, the Wildcats win. So Mikey Teasley gets the win. The save goes to Tyler Pickens. The winning RBI goes to Tyler Pickens. So the freshman and the senior have big days for Oak Ridge. We're going to turn off our mics here a bit. The music continues to play. We'll have our post-game show coming up in a moment. 2-0 our score. The Wildcats beat Karns. We'll be back to Bobby Hopkins Field with our post-game in a moment.
All right, tonight for the stats for the Oak Ridge Wildcats against the Karns Beavers. Started off Mikey Teasley with 5 strikeouts tonight on the mound. Did a great job holding the Beavers scoreless in the first 5 innings. He was later relieved by Jacob Franklin and then Tyler Pickens. Caden Black, 2 singles tonight and a stolen base. He ended up scoring in the 5th inning for one of the 2 runs that Oak Ridge had. Tyler Pickens, great night from him, as always. Big clutch hit from him, and clutch closing out in the 7th inning. He had a double, which brought in 2 RBIs for him, and he also was able to come in the last inning and get 2 strikeouts, close out the game for the Wildcats. Cam Welch, the freshman, got on base twice. He had a single tonight. That was huge for him. Now over to the Karns Beavers. Dylan Owens really showed out tonight. Their leadoff hitter, he had 10 strikeouts on the mound, and he had 2 doubles, 2 of which were really close to being home runs, like 5 feet shy. And back over to you, Coach Branson.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. As you kind of mentioned, Owens there nearly coming up with a huge hit there. He did end up doubling, but what a play there by Richie Ferrer to get the ball in. Izzy was down on the ground for a minute, but Richie was able to get it in. Caden threw a strike literally to home plate and was able to get the second out of the inning there.
Yeah, no, great job, great team effort, and Kyron Welch being able to get that tag down. He held the ball in really nice and got that tag out.
It's nice to see things that you work on in practice, like relays. You know, you don't always have relay opportunities very often, but when they do, it's nice that when you practice it, it looks like the way it did and it executed just like it did in the game.
Yeah, it was perfect, and you know they don't get that tag out. A 2-1 game with a runner on second, 1 out. So you know that was really clutch for the Wildcats.
I think we're going to head down here in just a moment to try to get a few player interviews and maybe Coach Free here. So we'll be back momentarily after this short break. I'll take this one down. You can use that one. Yeah, okay.
Just
Do you want some lemonade?
It's okay for them to talk nasty.
We still have a few cups left.
It's okay for them to talk nasty, but if somebody says
Is anybody gonna pour anybody one?
you don't want to talk, don't start it.
Come on, let's go. Let's go ask the coach. Yeah, I'm coming.
James Branson down here at joined by Tyler Pickens, senior for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. Tyler, first off, let's talk about the hit that you had that drove in 2 runs there. A little bit of an oppo hit there, kind of off. I don't know if it was off the end of the barrel. You just kind of pushed it that way, but either way, it worked. You drove in 2 runs. What was your approach there in that at bat?
Oh, I knew I was gonna swing first pitch because Dylan, he's a hell of a pitcher, man. He's a good pitcher, but I knew he was gonna try to get ahead, so I just knew I was gonna swing first strike.
And so you were able to poke it there to right field. And what was really impressive about that is you got yourself in scoring position just in case we were able to score again there. And so you not really celebrating too much, but what was also key is you were able to come in there in the 7th inning and work the last 3 outs of the game. And what was kind of the mindset going into the last 3 outs there?
Just Coach Free told me if Jacob walked anyone, I was gonna have to come in, and I knew it was go time. You know, once I heard Icon playing, I was like, it's game over. So.
Tyler, a big win here in the district sets up a potential meeting with either the winner of Powell or Central. Central won, and so we'll be playing Central. I believe they won 2-0, or 2-1. I'm sorry, over Powell. So a big game. That was your only district loss this year, and it was at their place. And we're able to get a little bit of revenge back here. Had a walk-off, came from behind, had a walk-off there where we led most of the game. What's your mindset, just preparing going into Central for Saturday?
Coach Free said that we're not going to see any more 75-mile-per-hour meatballs, so I guess tomorrow the approach is to get our front foot down and just hit the ball. We kind of struggled hitting the ball today. We scored 20 runs on Karns combined, so we just got to find our groove, and we'll get hot, and then we'll get rolling.
Tyler, you're able to pick up a win here in the district tournament, which is huge, sets you up really well going into the weekend. Just your thoughts going forward.
Just to get ready and kick some butt, I guess.
Thank you, Tyler. Congratulations on the win. Mikey. I'm going to be joined here very shortly by Mikey Teasley. Mikey was the starting pitcher on the night for the Wildcats, was able to go 5 innings. I believe had a 101 pitch count, Mikey, and had some deep counts there, had some full counts that you got into. I believe a bases loaded situation, and another situation where you had a runner on second and third. You never really seemed rattled out there, and obviously your defense had your back there. Talk a little bit about your defense and helping you get out of those situations.
When I started struggling, I just trusted Caden and everybody on the team to make a play for me, and they did. They came every time, and they helped me out through my 101 pitches.
Mikey, you guys really got it going about the 4th or 5th inning there. We're able to get base runners on, and I know Coach Free was happy that you were able to knock them in those scenarios, but what's something that we could maybe improve on going into the weekend facing a good Central team?
Maybe just stay in opposite field, and our whole team was just pulling our front side, and it's something we got to work on in practice and BP, and then we'll be good for Central.
Mikey, talk a little bit about the bottom of the order there for us. It was really what got us going. Camden Welch, Izzy Mitchell laid down a bunt, which helped us get the bases loaded. Obviously, Caden had a single in there too, and that really got the momentum going. And then a little bit later, the bottom of the order came up clutch again and really helped get the bases loaded again.
Yes, sir. Cheeto, he's a heck of a player, Izzy and all them, and they knew that they had to work counts, and they did. They came every time, and we trusted Caden to drive them in or get on base, and then, yeah, that's it.
Mikey, going into the weekend, obviously we'll play Central. What's your mindset going in? I asked Tyler this, the only district loss we had this year was at their place, and we were able to come back in a walk-off. A lot of the seniors said it was one of their favorite wins of the season. Just what's your mindset going into the weekend?
We got to get our get back for the first game because we probably see a good arm. Coach Free said we're not going to see nobody bad, so we got to be focused in and just, like I said, stay opposite field, and we'll be able to win.
Mikey, congratulations on the win, and we'll look forward to seeing you later in the weekend.
Sir, thank you.
Joining us now, perfect timing, head coach of the Oak Ridge Wildcats, Travis Free. Coach Free, first we'll start off with a little lighthearted thing here. Not too appreciative of the nickname a couple of nights ago in introduction.
What am I supposed to say that?
I have no idea. I just wanted to give you a chance to
I've never
dispute
been told that in my entire life, so he just put that on there, and then that just makes me look like, call me something better than that.
The players seem to enjoy it, but Coach Mikey, a little bit of a high pitch count, but you guys were able to stay in and battle with him, and defense behind Mikey did a really great job of helping him out.
Absolutely. Defense was the key. I mean, just think about all the big plays we made. Caden made some huge plays. It was a battle. I mean, you guys know Dylan. We faced him. He put us out last year. The year before, he beat us in an elimination game, or at least put us in maybe. So 2 years in a row, we've had to battle that kid, man, and he is a competitor, and he just gets better and better. And it was just, luckily today, I mean, our pitchers were great. Our pitchers were great. Our defense was great. We did what it took. We make some winning baseball plays, but hopefully that opens our eyes a little bit on offense, and we get to work tomorrow. Good news is we got another day off, get to work on a couple things, and so hopefully we'll make some strides in that.
Coach, probably the play of the game you would assume would be the hit that puts you up 2-0, but I think arguably the play of the game would be the double that was hit out to the deepest part of the park there. Richie Ferrer is racing over to back up Izzy Mitchell, makes a strike down to Caden, and Caden delivers a strike to the plate and really saves the run and gets you that second out there, and that was huge.
Absolutely huge. I mean, just players making plays. That's really what this is all about at this point of the year. Like, just go make plays. Just go be you and go get it done. And today, Richie made a great relay there. Almost Izzy, I think, actually almost caught that ball. It hit off his glove. I think he almost made that play. And then so Izzy and then Richie's throw to Caden, and then Caden just put it on the money. And Kai, once again, that's a great play on his end to make the play at all. So, three guys making big time plays, and that's how you win.
Relays are not something that are, very fun to work on. They're not something, it's kind of a little bit of a gritty play, but turning with the right shoulder and going the right way, it's nice to see something that you work on, I'm sure, every day in practice finally pay off for you.
Yeah, just the little things that people don't pay attention to, like Caden catching that ball on his glove side and turning and putting the ball on the money. Richie backing up Izzy to do his job, picked it up barehanded, didn't go to his glove, picked it up, threw a strike to Caden. Caden threw a strike to, if it wasn't that, bang, bang, he's safe. And then it's 2-1 with one out with a runner on second. Then it's a wholly different type of ball game right there.
Coach, talk about Tyler Pickens a little bit. Had a huge hit, drove in 2 runs there. Went a little bit opposite field there. Was able to get it down right there next to the foul line and right field, and then coming in and being able to get the save for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody knows player of the year for a reason. Kid gets big hits, and the kid makes pitches when he has to, and he's about as fierce a competitor as I've ever seen on the mound. One of the best I've ever had as far as just overall that dog mentality. Him and Mikey both, man. That's why we've been so good. They, Mikey, maybe the moment a little bit, but he just didn't have his best stuff. What's craziest was telling him is like he was in good counts to put him away, and then made non-competitive ball pitches. And if he could have made some of those, but he put up zeros for 5 in his first ever, and he's just going to get better as the year goes, and as his career goes, he's just going to get better and better and better as he goes. His velocity, I thought, was one of his better ones of the night, which is good to see. Late in the year, both Tyler and Mikey, both of their velocities were up, which is key. So that means that we've done the right things to get them ready for the postseason.
And, sandwiched in between there, don't forget about Jacob Franklin. Got a 1-2-3-6 there.
That's perfect. Like, that's going to be his bread and butter here down the stretch, is to give us 3 to 4 outs, and then be ready to do it again tomorrow, buddy. So as soon as we tee it back up on Saturday, guess what? He'll be ready to go. 3 or 4 more outs every single time. So he's done a great job at that, and I'm pleased that he's starting to find his groove back. He's got that hump back in it, and those guys just don't get good competitive swings off of him. So it's awesome.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Looking forward to playing the weekend. Kind of your mindset going into the weekend, and what you hope your players' mindset will be.
Well, obviously our mindset is, everybody talks about it. Let's not be honest. Let's not hide from it. Like, we won 20 wins the first time in my career here. We've been the number 1 seed first time in 50 years. Now we have a chance to put ourselves in the championship game with 1 win and advance to a regional since, I think, 2006. So you just keep talking about all these things. It's been over decades that these guys have been talking about. So let's not hide from it. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big deal on Saturday, and so that's why we held Tyler, because when it's a big deal, we want the big guy on the mound for sure. So that's where we're going to go.
Coach, congratulations on the win. We'll look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Man, roll, Rockets, roll.
Joey, we'll send it back up to you for a second, and then we'll come up there and close it out. Back up here in the booth to close things out. Joey, I think Coach Free made a couple nice little points there that the Wildcats are doing something unprecedented, or that haven't been done in a long time. And, he's been very respectful of the tradition, but also just excited to be able to have the opportunity to put yourself in a situation to do some pretty special things here this year.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, the Wildcats, Coach Free came in a couple years ago, and he's really turned this program around. We're seeing this team out here. They look better than ever. I mean, their offense, their defense, they're not making many errors on the defensive side. They're putting balls in play, and they're getting what needs to be done.
Well, that's going to about wrap it up here for David and Joey and Caleb and myself. And Wildcats win. It looks like they will be playing Central on Saturday here. Powell will be playing Karns in the elimination game. It is a two elimination or double elimination tournament. Sorry for that. And hopefully the Wildcats will be able to pull out a win Saturday and head to the championship game on Sunday. For everybody that we mentioned before here, I'm James Brinson and saying so long, everybody.